It's 7 a.m. We're out here on the Cumberland. It's a cold one. It's about 30 degrees right now. We do have year-round fishing here in Tennessee, in the southeast. Got a guy down here. I know him. He's doing exactly what we're trying to do right now. I think he might be on him. I'm looking for white bass. If we can find a school, man, we're going to be in for some really, really good fishing. There's a few different spots they can sit on this river. Oh, we got one on. Wow. Or something big. I mean, it feels like a hard fight on white. It's kind of hard to tell from how far back it is right now. Wow. What an awesome, awesome start to the day. Oh my gosh, it's a giant bass, dude. You're freaking kidding me. We are outgunned with this combo. That's a big one, man. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, dude. That's like a 4-pounder. Or maybe a big 3. I don't know. I gotta maintain tension and not break off. This is a 6-pound line. Oh, you're kidding me, man. This is the last thing I expected to get on the end of this line this morning. Look at that bass. Well, to say I'm shocked about this would be an understatement. Look at the size of this fish. That is a big largemouth, especially this time of year. Well, December can hold some of the best bass fishing in Tennessee. When we get these cold fronts, they really go dormant, so I am pretty surprised. Good looking fish. Take a look at her. Let's get some digits on this fish. I have to. All right, we are zeroed out. I'm guessing in the 4s for sure. Oh, maybe not. 3 pounds, 9 ounces. What an absolute beauty. Let's get her back in the water. All right, thanks for biting, girl. What a pleasant surprise, man. And off she goes. Well, that's what I'm talking about, my friends. Summertime in the southeast. No place I'd rather fish. That was the only, now we're definitely going to catch some more fish, but if that was the only fish I caught today, it would be a good one. Oh crap. I should have thought about that wind. Not a big deal, we can pull this out, no problem. I got these BFS setups so finely tuned for maximum distance that the slightest breeze can completely screw me. There we go. What an awesome fish. On 6-pound fluorocarbon and a light rod. I couldn't tell what it was at first. That was the last thing I expected. I thought maybe it was a drum or a really big white bass. Crap. Here we go. Wow, I can't believe that actually worked. Okay. That was a bass. There we go. Don't tell me that's another nice largemouth. That's gotta be that's something. Kind of feels like a big skipjack. I don't know, it's fighting real weird. Are you a white bass? I think it's a spot. Oh yeah, beautiful. A beautiful spotted bass. Wow, plump. These fish don't get huge in this area, these northern spots. My PB is, I think, 3 pounds and something. This is on the bigger side. This is a chubby one. Beautiful, well-fed spotted bass. This is turning out to be a really awesome morning. I didn't expect to catch largemouth or spots out here. Otherwise, I would have brought other gear, but this seems to be working. We're landing them. They are definitely somewhat lethargic out here. I saw a piece of bait kind of flick out of the water through my bait right there. Ended up hooking into him within seconds. So beautiful, beautiful fish. Got that prominent red eye and just a plump one. I'm gonna get her back in. And maybe we'll catch some more. I don't know. So rod reel wise right now we're working a Corrado BFS. It's got that nice drag clicker on there. Awesome reel. It's an 8.2 gear ratio. Rod wise we have a Dobbins Series 700 Charlie. It's a 7 foot. Ooh, that wind is bad. It is unforgiving, man. That is absolutely freezing. It's a 7 foot light powered moderate action rod with a fast action tip. A lot of fun to work. Really unique rod. I'm a big fan of this one. When it comes to BFS fishing, if it's something you're unfamiliar with, that you're curious about, want to get into, I highly recommend. Oh, there we go. Nice fish. That's a skipjack. Highly recommend the Corrado BFS. All right, she spit it. We'll catch more. Not worried about it. There's a lot of really expensive options out there when it comes to BFS, and there's a lot of cheap stuff too. Value wise, I think this is probably your best bet. At least it's the best value I've found when it comes to durability, functionality, and just an overall pleasant experience with this sort of fishing. A lot of that cheaper stuff is you get what you pay for. I'll just put it that way. Now these reels certainly don't mesh well with the wind, and when we are getting gusts of winds, not only is it freezing me over, causing me to get some loose line on my spool. It's not too big of a deal though. It's actually somewhat tolerable out here when the wind's not blowing a million miles an hour in my face. There we go. That feels like a skip, like a big one. Well, now it doesn't. Now it feels like a white bass. I don't know. I keep on getting surprised. I'm not even gonna call these anymore. Oh, yeah. That's a nice white. It's a good looking white bass, man. That's what I set out to target today. Good size too. That's an eater. Due to the limited amount of time I have today, I got some errands to run. I didn't bring a cooler with me. We're not doing a catch and cook today, but I will do a couple on the channel as we progress into these colder months. Well, here we go, guys. A beautiful white bass. Just a great specimen. Really healthy. Look at those yellow eyes. I absolutely love these fish. I love eating them. I love catching them. They're hard fighting for their size. Thanks for biting, girl. Now it might kind of look like I'm carelessly chucking them in the water. That's the exact opposite of what I'm doing. You have to kind of throw them out. They will just, if you release them at the bank, they'll almost like a lawn dart down and stick their heads in those rocks, and they just will sit there for 10, 20, 30 minutes sometimes. Having a really hard time leaving the spot. I don't have too much time to fish today, and I'm very pleasantly surprised we managed that largemouth and that spotted bass. Well, it's not uncommon to have good bass fishing here in Tennessee in the month of December. We've been having a really cold one out here. There we go. A skipjack. So we average a high of 52 in December, and I did search that this morning. We've been having highs in the 30s and 40s over the last week, so I'm really happy we managed those bass. It makes the bite a bit harder, that colder weather. So this is a skipjack herring. Catch these a lot on my channel come these months, and interesting fish, a migrant species. They're not a year-round thing here, but in the colder months they do run through our rivers. If you look at that belly, I don't know how well it's going to show up, it almost has a saw-like seam running underneath it. If you bear claw these fish like I do typically, and you catch a few of them, you end up getting little paper cuts on the underside of your hand. Pretty neat looking fish there, huh? We'll get her back in. They're really, really aggressive. Got about 5 more minutes and I had to leave today, so not a lot of time out on the water, but pretty happy with what we managed to catch today. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I had a great time making this one. As always, if you did, drop a like, consider subscribing. It really does help push the channel in the algorithm. I would appreciate that. Now let's get into the lure we were working with today. That 3-inch Easy Shiner by Kitech. All around great bait. I'm a big fan. We got a hair on there right there. All right, so the color I was working was Sight Flash. I do like a variety of their colors, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick this one. You got that white back, a translucent belly, got some glitter in there. It's a great bait fish imitation. It's somewhat subtle, but it still pops. This bait weighs in just over 2 grams. You throw in that 1/8 ounce ball head, and we're sitting north of 5.5 grams. Now, these plastics do vary, so I don't want to throw out a solid number, but I will show y'all on the scale what I came up with when I weighed one of them. So rigging wise, very, very simple. I'm only going to show a rig on this ball head because that's the way I fished it, but if you're newer to fishing paddle tails, if you're not sure how to rig a bait like this on a ball head, you're essentially going to stick the point of that hook right into the nose, get it right around that bend, something like this, and you're going to pop that point right through the back and fix that nose up on your hook keeper. It's gonna look something like this. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. However, you don't want it so bunched up that it impedes the action of the tail. That's your money maker right there. Now, do keep in mind that you are gonna be tied up to this eye, so naturally when you're working your bait, pulling it through the water, your hook's gonna be pointed up, so you want your tail point facing downwards all around. Kind of what you're looking for right there. So, Kitech, I don't think I've ever fished a bait by Kitech that I didn't enjoy fishing. They have a great design, great plastic. They have amazing wiggle when it comes to these paddle tails. One of the best in the business. My one gripe with these in particular is the durability. It's just not there. You're lucky if you're getting more than a couple fish out of one bait. Especially when you rig it the way I do, start running into issues where your nose starts splitting. Sometimes if your bait gets pulled down, if that fish pulls your pants down, you're gonna have some rippage right there. You can kind of mitigate that by snipping a bit off the nose and resetting that bait, kind of eliminating some of that ripped up plastic. Or if you got a major rip where your hook was, you can rig it upside down and fish it that way. I've had some success doing that. Obviously, it's not gonna work as well as this proper rig right here. Besides that, awesome bait, great multi-species bait, a real safety net bait for me. The reason I've been fishing it a lot lately is because of this all over the place weather we've been having. It's making interesting, it's very unpredictable, I'll put it that way, and I can't really count on my fish being where I like them to be or eating exactly what I want them to eat. I know that just about any species I'm looking to catch though is gonna eat this bait. That's why I decided to use it in this video today. And that about covers it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I had a great time making this one. As always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I hope y'all are getting some fish on, my friends. If you do live in the Southeast like me here in Middle Tennessee, we're having crazy weather, man. I'm looking forward to fishing this coming week. We're gonna be back up in the 50s. I think we have one day in the 60s, so decent weather to look forward to. Now, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.